Scoot, scoot, scoot. Salutations and high expectations, I guess. Actually, yeah, because we will soon be shooting our first short film, the one that I already talked about in the previous video. Our little crossword riddle project, and please don't judge because no, we still do not have a proper title. Just a little disclaimer here, I shot this video exactly after the other one where I talked about the production starting in a week, and I thought at that point that we would still change our title, but because everything got a little hectic, that did actually not happen. So we actually stuck with our little crossword riddle title. I don't know if I will keep this for our director's cut, which I will come to in a little bit, but just so you know, do not expect me to change the title anymore because past me did not expect the stress that she was about to hit. So yeah, just keep it at crossword riddles for now. And if it ever changes, you will be the first ones to know. As you could see from my previous video, the pre-production has completely been finished. We are now fully prepared to shoot, and it is very soon, so we are ready to take on the challenge, making this count. We are going to be shooting for 3 days, hopefully all on schedule and everything, and it will all be in one weekend, so Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So that is what this video is going to be about. I will take you on set with me, I'll show you a little bit about everything that we did, show you a few behind the scenes footage of whatever, and I'll try not to forget about you in the moment. Maybe you will also get to see some outtakes, I don't know yet if we will even make any. But yeah, let's just get right into it, and I am giving the microphone to my future self, who is probably about to burst from excitement, even more than I am. It is the day before the first shooting day, and I am on my way to drop off all the equipment, all the props that will be needed for the shoot, so that we can start shooting tomorrow early without any trouble. I'm gonna try and take you on the journey a little bit. I don't know how much that's gonna work because we're gonna be in a little bit of stress, but I'll take videos as often as I can and update you on how it goes. Yeah, there's a little bit of a chaos with everything, but we'll manage, we'll make it just fine, and yeah, see you on the other side, I guess. So this is all the equipment that we used. We first brought it into the apartment that we were going to shoot in, and then we made sure that it is ready for the next day when we came back, and that was our first shooting day also. So we basically made everything ready to be ready to shoot on the next day. And you will notice that I am speaking about all of this in the past. That is because things got a little hectic around the shooting time, and I had to focus completely on getting everything done and not having too much trouble with, you know, shooting this video, shooting the actual film and stuff like that. So I kind of abandoned it a little. So now the shoot is actually already over, and I am already in the next location, as you can see, working on another project, but that's a topic for a different video. So the shoot for this film was actually over a month ago already now, and I had a lot of other projects and exams that I had to finish for a deadline that we needed to meet, so I just got all of that out of the way, and now I'm ready to explain and tell you about everything that we did during the shoot, show you a little bit of behind the scenes stuff that we did, how well it went, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that is basically the plan. So after we finished loading all the equipment, we could shoot on the next day. Our first take was a pretty long shot, about I think 3 to 4 minutes long, if I remember correctly. And it took us way longer to actually create that take. We had calculated for it to take an hour for shooting and setup, but we ended up using 2 hours on setup only. So that was not really greatly planned from the production side, but we pulled through. We compromised our shooting schedule for the day a little bit, and then just went on to the next day and tried to keep on track as much as we could. On the next day, I took over the timing aspect a little bit, as our producer sadly wasn't a great help. Like I said before, the scheduling didn't really work out. So I kind of took over that role a little bit, even though I was supposed to be the director, but you know, sometimes you just have to compromise. But I do have to say that actually this was a pretty interesting experience for me, because not only could I be in charge creatively, but I also was able to take care of the timing and know how long I had until we had to move on, and I was able to say, no, we need to take this is important, this is not so important, we can compromise here. You know, it was a really nice way of learning how to manage the shoot properly. And we eventually actually managed to finish the shoot as planned on that day, and we actually managed to catch up with the 2 hours that we lost the day before, with going over schedule only 12 minutes. I'm kind of proud of that. That was not expected, and it was pretty cool that that worked out. So by the end of day 2, we were caught up with everything that we meant to shoot until day 2, and we could move on to day 3, which was our last day, and we also did not have that much stuff to shoot on that day. It was, I think, only 2 or 3 shots altogether, and that day was more reserved for packing all the equipment back and, you know, cleaning up the apartment so that it was the way we left it, all that kind of stuff. I don't really have that much footage of that because, yeah, it was mostly driving around the city, logistics for the equipment and everything. It's not that interesting, I would say, so I kind of left that out. But yeah, that was my first shoot as an official director. And when I started this video series with my little creating an idea that was already in the trash video, I did not expect this to happen. And I really loved it. I really loved shooting this. It was such an amazing experience to be able to see your own idea come to life from pre-production to production. The shooting itself was just a really great experience. The actor was amazing, and he was really an amazing addition to our plan, to our crew. So I really enjoyed doing this, despite all the little complications that came with, you know, the time schedule and all that kind of stuff. And well, I do know that in the finished product you can see that it's a student film. I don't really mind that much, but you know, nobody's born perfect. You have to get better with each project that you take on. And I know that I gave my best for what I did there, and that's good enough for me because I know I did everything I could, so there's no regrets that I have anywhere. So this was the perfect learning experience for me personally. Now, just to sum up the last few weeks a little bit, which were packed with other projects and editing. We basically experimented around a little bit with our editor, and we also went into a sound studio at our school to record some voice messages that were in the final product, which you will get to see, don't worry.
You! Yes, you! Have you tried the new Dustoff 200 by Dusty Corp? It generates enough suction for even spilled liquids like juice, milk, or hold on to your butts. Something as dense as ink can be absorbed with great results.
And we ended up with a pretty cool, kind of 10 minutes long film. The only problem was that suddenly the school came up with a rule that said you needed to shoot for 8 minutes only, so the film had to be cut down by 2 minutes, which came way too late. Everybody else who shot the film also had this problem, that they just had a longer film and suddenly it had to be cut down to 8 minutes. So we kind of had to compromise a little bit, because otherwise we would be losing points if it was longer. Like, actual points of our grade would be deducted, which I didn't really understand, because our film thrives on drawn out suspense scenes. Like, it's a suspension horror movie. You can't just cut out the point where you are supposed to be on the edge of your seat not knowing what's going to happen. That was the whole point of the style of it. And basically every time we had a suspension scene where you were supposed to be questioning what's gonna happen next, we had to cut out to match the 2 minutes. So there's very little suspense now, which I personally absolutely hate, but it's not on our hands because the school did whatever they wanted with that, and they decided to just not tell us until it was too late. So we are stuck with the 8-minute version now that we have to hand in for our project. I am still really proud of the 8-minute version. It worked out super well. We had a lot of interesting cuts and a lot of interesting style choices in there that also worked within the 8-minute version. It's just a disappointment that nobody told us this before, so we weren't prepared for it. We handed that in as our final project that will be graded, and I will also hopefully soon upload this version, this 8-minute version, to YouTube, so everyone can see it if they want to. But keep in mind that it's not the finished and full version that we actually wanted to have. But yeah, for now, I'm super happy to be done with all the school projects for the summer. It really was a stressful time, but also a very interesting time because I learned a lot of new things this semester that we also went through together, and I am just super ready for vacation now. I will keep you updated on any projects that I have on the side, like, for example, the reason why I'm here right now and not in my flat anymore. Hopefully soon I will be back with my little short film for you guys to check out. And until then, see you and stay creative. Bye!